Okay.
While you while you start it off, I'm gonna go see what she's. I think it's a rabbit. I'll be right.
Oh, yeah, good luck.
I mean, she's not going outside to get it, but
No, no. No, no, no. Her poor little paws. Groovy! Welcome, friends. Welcome. Thanks for coming tonight. And then for those that are planning to watch this later, thanks for watching this. It's gonna be great. Checking in. We're all doing great. Super cold. Legislation updates. This is gonna be so exciting because we were notified by former Representative Newton that Representative Tina Liebling is no longer the chair of the Health and Finance Committee. Right? That is such great news. For those of you that are new, and for those that have read minutes in the past and have been part of this group for a long time, Representative Tina Liebling has been, for the lack of better words, a thorn in our foot, our side, our toes, our ankles, our ears, our heads, our necks, and everything, and has been gatekeeping a lot of amazing individuals from getting heard in her committee. So she has been booted out and has been replaced with an individual who is actually, we've spoken to before in the past and is in favor of the music therapy licensure bill. And I am blanking on his name right now. Jeff Backer.
Bakken, Bakken,
Backer,
I think, I think.
something like that. Super sweet individual, really, really nice, really receptive. And although she's still a part of the committee as a member, she is not an active leader, which is great in our favor. So now we get to venture out into finding a chief author on the House side. And what steps we have done so far is we've sent an email to Senator Port's team to see whom they recommend because they're actually in it in the Capitol at the doing all the things from day to day, and I'll be waiting for their response. Former Representative Jerry Newton gave us a list of individuals for. Ooh, awesome! Hi, Christina. Thank you for being here. And we're gonna pursue them. And right now the list is Representative Robert Behrman, Liz Reyes, Mike Freiberg, who was a chief author in the past, and Nathan Cutler, who also was a part of the bill last time that it was active. So we're kind of putting those names out to see some feedback, some thoughts. Are there anybody that knows some information that they would like to bring to the table? So if anybody here attending the meeting has any information about those four individuals, oh my goodness, I feel like my kids decided to just go crazy upstairs. Maybe I can put them in the chat. Robert Bierman, sorry, I do not have hyperlinks to all of their profiles on the legislators' website, or yeah, the House and the Senate's website, but you're more than welcome to go ahead and Google these fun people. And let us know all the things. And also, we're open to more recommendations. So anybody who's not on this list that you want to include in this list, bring them all. Bring them all. Anybody that you know, anybody that you think would be in support and would be willing to go ahead and chief author on the House side, that would be great. Hi, Kimberly. Welcome. Were you here to hear the awesome news?
Yes, about the new chair.
Yeah,
I did hear that.
I celebrated hard. It was great.
I'm gonna try to turn, so there you go. You can see me better. There
So
we go.
yeah, that's gonna kind of direct how our next steps are gonna be. So Todd, yeah, do you want to take it over from here?
Yeah. So Erica, thanks for catching everybody up. So what we need to, and Mark alluded to this in his email. Sorry, this is what was at the front door that it was barking, and it's trying to eat it. Oh, not for me. Okay. So really next steps are going to be to reestablish, recultivate not only our previous working relationships with senators on both sides of the aisle and in both chambers, but also to develop and nurture new relationships as well. And so getting to know these folks that Erica just put in the chat, getting to know Representative Baker, we'll figure out how to say his last name, is going to be important. Maybe he's the chair of the Health and Human Services Finance Committee. He would be a wonderful person to maybe even author the bill or co-author the bill if he'd be amenable to it. And then it's even easier sailing through that first difficult committee. So I think we need to do a lot of homework. And that's really one of the points that I think Mark was bringing up is we need to find out who on this committee is either maybe our own representative, where we live, where we work, what other connections and contacts we may have, what kind of connections might they have to healthcare. There's a reason they're serving on this committee, and many times we find that by getting to know just a little bit about them, it gives us the opportunity to kind of set up how we talk to them and what we put in our emails and who we have reach out to them and talk to them. So I think really some of the first next steps need to be, whether it's myself and Erica, or I hope it's more people here on the call or here that are listening to this call that want to say, hey, I'm interested in learning more about these couple of people on this committee. And we start to kind of divide and conquer a little bit. Melissa, you just said, are these individuals that are on the Health and Human Services Legislative Committee? I thought that there were more on it. Yeah, so those are the names that former Representative Jerry Newton suggested. Those are folks that he had heard through his conversations over the years carrying our bill that were amenable to our bill back at that time. And he thought that these would be a good place to start our conversation. It doesn't mean that these are the folks we'll go with. It might mean that they don't want to chief author it, but maybe they want to co-author it. And that's great as well. But these were from his recommendation. Great question. So we're not starting over, but we're starting over on the House side in developing these important relationships that we need as we move through the months. So I think, Erica, maybe what we can do, and Kimberly and anyone else it's been on this journey with us and been on other journeys, I think maybe the best thing to do is for us to download a list of all the committee members that are on that Health and Human Services Finance Committee, kind of like Melissa was just asking, and let's send that out to everybody on our task force. I think now the email's up to what, like 28, 32, something amazing people. We already have Sean's already done the work. That's amazing. And that's why we had those subcommittees doing so much of that work back in the fall. Good point. So we'll send all the lists out to everybody. We'll have the contacts for these legislators out for everybody, and we'll kind of see where it goes from there as far as what to do. We also have email templates. Eric, we can maybe include those in the email that we've used in the past, where it's like, hello, Representative so-and-so, my name is blah, 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 blah. I've been a music therapist for this many years. I work with this clinical population. I am reaching out to you to see, or to gauge, I forget the words, but, basically we're asking them for what level of support, and can we perhaps schedule a meeting with them either in person or in Zoom? So.
The only piece, this is Kimberly, I would add to that is looking at what districts they serve and making a connection to music therapy if one can be made.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Kimberly. So in that email, and we'll just do the email that'll have the link to the recording of this that we'll send out to everybody with all the minutes and everything anyway. We'll have information like that. So whether it's where they live, which is where they're voting, and or if there's a connection to a facility or clientele served in those districts, we can make sure that we remind people of that. Thanks, Kimberly. Okay, cool. What else was in the chat? That's Erica saying we already have that. Okay, cool. All right, so that's what and I mean, this is not just Todd saying this. This is not just Erica saying this. Like everybody, let's talk it out. I think those may be like the most immediate best next steps. We need to find a chief author. We need to find co-authors on the House side. I believe, Erica, you sent an email out to Senator Port, kind of putting the feelers out as well. So between both Senator Port and whom she might recommend that she wants to work with, as well as who we want to work with, this is our bill, this is our legislation. We can figure out who's going to be the chief author and also the co-authors for us. Okay, so be looking for that information. Related to that, the next let's skip fact sheets and talking points just for now, but let's go to Minnesota Music Therapist Town Hall, because parallel to this, I believe, and again, I want to talk this out with everybody, I believe we can be doing multiple things at once. We can be reaching out and cultivating and nurturing these important legislative relationships, and at the same time, we can be listening to and educating and cultivating our relationships, bridging with our colleagues across the state of Minnesota. So I think now that we've kind of been reinvigorated a little bit, we thought we weren't going to get any progress legislatively. Can't talk tonight. I need to eat dinner. Legislatively, I think we need to pivot a little bit and have our town hall sooner than later. Perhaps like in the next, I don't think we can get it like before GLR conference, but maybe we can get it the week after GLR conference. So if y'all don't know, the GLR conference is less than a month away. We're not going to have anything scheduled today. Maybe we can, I don't know. What do y'all think? It doesn't take long to put a town hall together. What the big thing is giving people enough notice that they can get it on their calendars and attend for 60 to 90 minutes in Zoom land. So that they can listen to what's in the bill and we can begin to answer any questions they have. We've got some good questions we can pull from the survey. Obviously the survey won't be complete by then. And we'll talk about the survey in a little bit, but I don't know. What do y'all think? You think we could do it in maybe the first week of March? I don't know. What do y'all think?
I think it would be wise to get town halls started sooner rather than later.
I agree. So by saying that, what are you thinking is the date?
I think if you were throwing out the first week of March, I think that would be okay. I've been keeping an eye on the survey responses, and I'm seeing more transparency and more information is what people are wanting. So
Yeah.
the more times that we can get in front of people, the better.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
agree. This is Christina. I think getting more information out is going to be helpful in terms of getting more music therapists to understand where we're at, and then they in turn can maybe get on board and reach out to others.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree, Christina, and I agree, Melissa. Do you think that we can get our town hall together? It's gonna be first of many, but do you think we could get a town hall together for the week of the 3rd?
I think we need to try.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
I think that it needs to not be one town hall. I think
Well,
they
yeah,
should be happening every month. The
No,
other
I agree.
thing that is an issue is meeting times and that people honestly feeling open and welcome. I know both Mark and Mel were very frustrated with this time, along with some other folks, because they have clients and they've expressed that they want to be here for the meetings and that they have clients at 6:30 on Mondays. So I know, and they were saying that there were some others that wanted to be part of it as well. So being sure to have flexibility and openness for the meetings that we have for the task force as well as town halls.
So I think as far as scheduling goes, when we have close to 400 board certified music therapists on the MTBC list, we're not going to find a time and a day that works for everybody. And it's why we record these meetings as well. And I certainly understand the busyness of all of us. This meeting's always been at 6:30. That's not a new time. But at the same time, we are recording this and any of us that are here, we're more than happy to meet with any of our task members separately and talk to them and listen to them and integrate their important contributions. I think that we'll do a town hall. It'll be the first of many. But it'll be recorded as well. And I don't know what a good time is.
Can I throw a couple thoughts out there?
Yeah.
One,
Yeah.
so we're talking about two different things. We're talking about the timing of the task force meeting and the timing of these town halls.
Yep, I agree.
The task force meeting, one thing to consider, and then I have a thought on the town hall, is, maybe each month you alternate. One time it's Monday at 6:30 and the next month it's Tuesday at 6:30 or something like that. So just something to consider, because again, it is, I mean, you all are large enough. It's going to be practically impossible to get a day and time that works for everyone. In terms of the town halls, what a lot of states have done that seem to be effective is to have 2 to 3 different town halls, different days and times. So one evening one lunchtime one, and even one weekend one. And then you as a task force don't need to be at all of them. There can be some kind of dividing and conquering of that. So that may be something to consider as well. It's having 2 to 3 different days, different times during the week.
Yeah, and I wanted to back up on the recordings as well. Erica, you mentioned that awesome spreadsheet with the meeting dates. And you have the Zoom link and then the recording link, but they don't actually have the recording link on there. So you need to get the recording out to everybody. And you mentioned sharing the notes as well. And I don't know that those have gone out either. So making sure that those go out and that link that you just sent out today is actually updated with the Zoom links from, like, the January one isn't up there. And it would be slick if you had the meeting minutes right in that spreadsheet, because that's just a really slick, logical place to put all of that.
And what time frame do you think is a reasonable time frame from the moment that the meeting adjourns to the moment that they need to be posted for the public to have access to it? Because I'll be completely honest, it doesn't take like 5 minutes to get it uploaded to YouTube to get a shareable link. It does take some time, and then also just to kind of get everything all organized. Is 48 hours, business hours, reasonable?
I think so, depending on how long. If it is, it doesn't. Yes, so I had a couple thoughts on that. If it's a matter of getting things done quickly, well, I'm going to rewind on that because I'm taking on more things than maybe I should. But I was going to offer that I could upload them for you if that would be easier and take something off of your plate. But it sounds like you don't want to do that, which is okay. But yes, unless there is something that has a critical timeline, if there's yeah, that's what I was thinking, Maggie, is delegating it if it takes too long to upload the links for you, because I know you've got a lot of things on your plate. There's anybody can upload that and share it to a link. I've got a Vimeo account that I could do it on, or I don't know if
To clarify, it's because the length of the meetings takes a while to upload. It's
upload and
not
then
that we
buffer and all
don't
that stuff,
have
right?
time. It's just
Yep.
literally it takes a long time for it
I
to
know, I
Okay,
know.
Yeah.
hold on, y'all. Okay, we're talking about, like Kimberly was just saying, we're talking about two separate things right now. Okay, we can talk about the meetings, we can figure that spreadsheet out. I believe that spreadsheet is a new resource to the work of the task force, and we'll make sure that meeting minutes and future recording links, we'll make sure all that's in there. Let's focus on the town hall. So this town hall date is going to be sometime the week of March 3rd, right? Does anybody care what night? Otherwise, we can go. I don't like Mondays for something like this. I think that's too early in the week. I'm thinking like maybe a Wednesday or Thursday for folks. And if we offer it, perhaps 7 to 8:30. It's a wee bit after the dinner hour. It doesn't get too late for folks who have busy families and have also been working all day. What do y'all think about a 7 to 8:30 on Thursday the 6th? Thumbs up. Anybody else? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways?
Let me double check. Thursday the 6th, what time?
7 Central.
That works on the national calendar.
Amazing. Thank you. All right, so going in the minutes, it'll be Thursday, March 6th at, just kidding, 7 to 8:30 Central Standard Time. Okay. Awesome. Then, so we got that. Now that we got that, and I'm not trying to, I'm just trying to keep us moving and stuff on the agenda stuff. Melissa, I promise you we'll circle back to confirming the meeting stuff, that spreadsheet.
I keep hearing you guys saying that you're gonna send out recordings, you're gonna send out notes, and people aren't getting them. So I just want to make sure that that happens. And if you need to delegate, that we can delegate. And it sounds like there's a couple people who might be willing to help with that. So
I thought, but I can go back and take a look. I thought that I copied and pasted the recording link from last month's meeting into an email. I see Erica nodding her head. So if I didn't do that, I apologize. I thought I copied and pasted the link into an email a couple days after our meeting in January. But if I didn't, again, I apologize. I can make sure that this link is sent out as soon as what's this called? Zoom processes it. Okay, so now that we have a town hall, now we need to figure out what is going to go into that town hall, and how we're going to organize it. Kimberly, I appreciate you or whomever we may be able to get from CBMT, AMTA there. Y'all are amazing. I think kind of going back to the previous agenda item, we need to start working on or go back and look at to make sure that they have information correctly, our fact sheets and our talking points. Because as we are both parallel, we're talking to our colleagues and we're talking to legislators, we need to make sure that we're all using common verbiage. We need to make sure that we're all using the talking points that we need to make sure it's a unified voice. So Eric, can you refresh everybody's memory? I can't remember. Where are we at? I know we had a subcommittee last fall, perhaps looking at some of those. Did they do any of their work? Were they waiting for some survey information? Where were we with the work of that subcommittee back in the fall?
Yeah, so they updated as much as they could, minus the information from the demographic survey. They were just waiting for the demographic survey to finish so they could plug in the last bits of stats. So everything's all ready to go and fun and graphic and full of creativity. Just waiting.
Okay, so because we haven't done the demographic survey and we're not gonna do the demographic survey for a little bit yet, we have some numbers from CBMT that we can maybe use instead. So we know, I believe, and I can double check, but I believe the list you sent me, Kimberly, had 366 board certified music therapists on it. I can go back and look. Don't worry about it. Or Beth sent me. You didn't send it to me. Beth sent me, but you told Beth to send it. It was awesome. It was great teamwork. But I think it was 366. So we could say, there are roughly 400 board certified music therapists working within Minnesota. As far as specifics to like how many types of settings or clinical populations, we can maybe just say music therapists across Minnesota are working in these areas, and these areas for now.
You can say we're still collecting data. Please fill out the survey.
Good call.
You can this is preliminary information. You don't need to have all the answers right now.
Awesome. Thank you. I think the important fact sheet is, why is licensure important? I think that, especially for this town hall, because that's what people want to know. People want to know what is in the bill. People want to know how much might it cost, and we can base that off of information from the states, and AMTA and CBMT, amazing colleagues, can maybe talk to that. 339, yeah, roughly. So I think that's what, if we could have a group of folks working on those talking points, and then we can then share it with the larger committee, so we all have a chance to take a look at it and make sure that we're in agreement with those talking points. I know the long-standing talking points, and for us to drive home, are the two important aspects of licensure, and that is to increase accessibility to music therapy services and to protect the board certified music therapist, in order to ensure that it is only a board certified music therapist delivering music therapy. So those are the two primary talking points. And then of course there's subcategories off of those. So I don't know if there's anyone that's here on this call that wants to say, hey, I'll take a look at those fact sheets, or again, we can put this in the email as well, that we'll send out after the meeting. But anyone have any additional thoughts, any additional, hey, yeah, I want to do it, or I need to think about it?
You also won't reinvent the wheel. We do have examples from the National Dropbox too that you can look at, and then see how you can combine that with the stuff that's already been created. So it's not like you're coming out of nowhere with this. And then if you're not comfortable to say tonight that you want to be involved, or if you want to participate in any capacity, that's totally cool too. Like Todd said, we'll put it in the email so that way everybody has equal access to it. So that way they know. And then I'll put it also in the February in the know updates to the community as well.
Awesome. Yeah, we're not reinventing the wheel at all. We're just revising and making the wheel even better. So yeah, you don't have to read it. You don't have to start from fresh at all. Okay. I'm super excited about this town hall. And we do have, well, let's just move to the survey. Okay. So the next agenda item, anything else on that? I think we covered everything in,
I'm sorry, were we gonna have a couple of different town halls, or did I miss that?
for net. Yes, absolutely. We need to. Why don't we just schedule this one for now?
Okay,
Then see what the response is, see what questions we get. We're going to continue to be receiving information from the survey. And then we can have one maybe on a weekend. We can have one maybe during the middle of the day or later in the afternoon. Like we can move around days and times to try and meet different folks' different schedules. Regardless, all town halls will be recorded and can be converted into a YouTube link as well. So I'd rather not schedule a second one just yet. I don't know if we want to do them once a week. If we want to do, to me, that seems like a lot. Maybe every, I don't know. Let's see how the first one goes, and then we can all decide as a team what we want to do. Is that okay? Okay, cool. Alrighty. Moving on. All right, so with the survey, obviously you all know that the survey is open. I did hear from someone today who I was meeting with that they did not receive the survey, and they're an MTBC. And when I looked on the list, they weren't on the list, my friends. It's very interesting. So I don't know. We looked and we couldn't figure out, did they maybe select something on their CBMT membership that maybe it took them off the list, but they weren't on the list, but it said on the website that they were paid.
and they're listed under Minnesota?
And they're listed under, yeah, it says MN on there so they looked themselves up, and so I don't know what happened and if we missed anybody. And I don't mean to make like a big mountain out of a molehill, but I don't know. It was weird. I was shocked.
Okay, do you have the name of that person?
Yeah.
Could you email it to me and
I'll
I'll,
email it to you.
yeah.
Yep.
I'll follow up on the CB. I
Yep.
don't manage that, so I can't answer
No,
that.
it's
but I
all
can
good. I'm merely the messenger, and it's not, no one's upset, no
Yeah,
one's
email,
worried,
no, email me
anything like that.
the name and that we can just check into that.
Cool. I appreciate it. and seriously, let like whoever is in charge of it, like we're not mad, we're not disgruntled, we're just like, what? This is weird, kind of thing. Okay. So the survey is out. We currently have 98 responses. So 98 completed surveys, which is awesome. And I don't know, is it kosher to like tell y'all what the data is looking like? Is that okay to do? I don't want, is everybody here taking the survey? It's not like it's a research study, but that's my research hat.
I was actually going to say I haven't gotten a survey either.
You haven't gotten the survey either.
Mm-mm.
Arr, okay. That's weird.
Elena,
I
what's
don't-
your last name?
Williamson, but I
Mm.
don't know if it's because I had been in a different area prior to moving.
Have you updated your mailing address to CBMT?
Yeah.
Let me, Williamson.
Mhm.
Okay. And could it be in junk mail? That's the other thing I just thought of, because sometimes
So
email
usually I search stuff when I know I'm going to be getting something. So I've been doing the search in my junk to see if it comes through, and I haven't been getting.
And Amy Furman got it twice, just because we love you a whole lot, Amy, so. Just kidding. But not you,
really
Williams. Okay, I have your name, and then I'll get Todd's, and I'll forward those both.
We'll figure it out. So the reason that happened, and Amy, maybe the reason you got it twice was Qualtrics, when I uploaded the spreadsheet, only accepted the first 200 names. And I don't know why, and I didn't realize it when I hit send. And so then when I went back and I fixed it, I forced it to take all of them, but I think it doubled some email addresses. I don't know. And I didn't want to delete. And so anyway, so that's why. But everyone that's on the CBMT list should have received it. And then I believe Melissa and a few others have put it out on social media as well. So it's accessible there, but
It's not
Um,
accessible there. You have to,
oh, I thought you put the link in there. It's not?
no, we took the link out so that we could, sorry, I can put my camera back on.
That's okay. That's
We
okay.
took the link out so that we can make sure that only people who have their emails are answering it. So you can only answer it once.
Oh. Okay. Maybe what we could do, I'm just brainstorming, I don't know. We could do some more social media posts. It's on this agenda anyway to, figure out further marketing and PR and reminders. Maybe we could ask people if they haven't taken it, please contact mintaskforce@gmail.com to receive a link. And then that way we can put their email address that we'll get at Mintask. We can put that into Qualtrics and then send them the survey. So we just
Yeah,
need to put on
if they-
social.
If they haven't received it, then you can manually add them. And you added the names of the additional folks that I gave you too, correct?
Yes,
Okay, very good.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all want to see some of this data? I think that's okay to do, isn't it? Let me open the survey. Here, let me share my screen. Just to get y'all in the know. So here's the survey. Oh, trying to move everybody's faces around. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we currently so we go down to, do you support state regulation of music therapy? So here's a bar graph of it, but you can look down here at the numbers. That's a better way to look at it. So we currently have 62% saying they support it. We also have an additional 30% that say that they support it, but they want more information. So technically 92%, roughly. And then some folks, 9 folks indicated that they were undecided, and 2 folks at this time are saying that they do not support it. And then as you go on down, there's a lot here. So here you can see if no, why do you not? And then we'll print all these out and in preparation for the town hall, we can take a look at this, but there's a few responses there. There's a few really nice qualitative responses here. Anyway, we're getting a lot of information, but the exciting part is that for the most part, it seems that those that are currently responding are supportive of a license in music therapy or in Minnesota. So once we get everybody responded, then obviously we can download this, we can put it into some exciting PowerPoints, we can push it out there and be very transparent. We can copy and paste all the qualitative information. We can do a lot with it. Plus, this will help us talk to and answer any questions or concerns that our colleagues have at our town halls.
Hey, Todd, one question I wanted to be sure that we address is that are you in favor of a task force to inform, educate as structured? And there were 6 people who said no, and a number of people who wanted more support. And there are some comments about that. And I feel like it would be wise, since we have the task force presence, at least some of the folks to go through that.
Yep. I agree.
On that.
So no, I'm so glad you asked, Melissa. So currently, as you can see here, here's the numbers that support a task force. We can definitely, I mean, unfortunately, we only have 17 minutes left in this meeting. But we should obviously spend some time taking a look at why these 6 people are saying no. I haven't taken a look at all of the qualitative results yet, to be very honest with you, but leaning into these numbers here, it seems for the most part, people understand that we need a task force to do this. Otherwise, who's going to do it? And you know, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't take their comments very seriously, because we should. But you know, truth be told, if a task force isn't going to do this important work, then who is? And to be very blunt about it. So we can pull that information so that we can have further conversation about why those folks are saying that they don't believe a task force is needed.
Todd, clarification. It is not saying that they don't want a task force, but they don't want the task force as structured. And the comments relate to needing to restructure the task force because it is not functioning well as is, and that people don't trust it. So just to be mindful of that. Simple things like, I know it was just today, but Annie sent a message saying she wanted to take a pause from the task force today. And I've been saying for months that we needed to get a Google group together so that people could more fluently get communication. And she continued to get multiple emails from the task force after she said, I don't want to be on the task force right now. If we had a Google group where people could opt in and out, then they could get information when they did and did not want to be part of it. And I think that people would be more willing to support and to provide assistance when they are able, and to just drop out when they don't have the space or the time, when they're volunteering for other things that have bigger chunks of time.
I agree. To the best of my understanding, Erica did create a Google group. And so I think the other side of this is if people don't want to respond to an email, they don't have to. But I think transparency is important, and keeping people informed is important.
But if they say that they want some space from the task force, you shouldn't just keep emailing them.
No,
It's
but she got
disrespectful.
that because she was on the Google group. So if she wants to opt in or opt out, that's entirely her choice.
Are the messages that you're sending, right, the ones that we've been getting, are they from the Google group? Because it's not coming out as a name of a Google group. It's just a list of names.
I don't know. I know Erica created the Google group, so I don't know. I don't know.
Could we start using the Google group then, Erica, and have people be able to opt in and out of it?
I'll double check.
Because it's not showing as a Google group from the emails that we've been receiving.
It's labeled Min Task Force. That's the group that it's called. That's what I created it as. I can double check the settings of it.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe it's
Okay.
it's between a.
So I
few-
thought that was just your email. That is the Google group?
Yeah, the Min
Okay.
Task Force is.
So
the-
then you're just adding the additional names.
This last time, I think Todd did on accident because he wanted to make sure everybody got it. So everybody got duplicates because I did message Todd. I was like, Todd, you know that all those people are also in the group. And he goes, oh, geez. So
I'm not a Gmail, Google, I'm merely a music therapist. I don't know.
no human error on that one.
Okay.
I need
So-
to jump in with this for a moment.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
I'm gonna say this right now. Put on your pants, world, do work and have accountability. And if someone doesn't want to be in a group or they have to tap out, okay, I understand that, but the expectation here is to get work done at the, not at the world's convenience. And I might be in great dissonance with people, but there's no room for laissez-faire or a certain level of flexible drop in and drop out. With the level of integrity that we have to build cohesion and stitching in and stitching out of people based on what their availability is. If you're not available, then don't. I'm sorry. With that being said, I know I get intense with things, but when you get hyper flexible, you basically dissolve the intentions of the work. And it makes animosity. I've seen this on so many committees. Someone comes in at their convenience so much, and then they can be aggressive or really contribute based on not even having all the information, and they leave for a bunch of time. I feel that if someone can't commit, and if they still get messages and it frustrates them, they know where it's coming from. They don't have to open it, and there's not an expectation. If someone decides to drop out, just do it. I feel that the work needs to be done. I feel that if somebody is unhappy because they're getting contacted, then we don't have any expectations of people other than that we do our best. But we can't be annealing ourselves to everybody's micro adjustment. That gets us in trouble. That's just where I'm going to say with that. We have to just do the work. If people can join in, do it. If you don't feel comfortable, fine. If it's a personality issue, bring it up. Sorry, I had to say it.
Mute. Just to clarify, so the mntaskforce@gmail.com is the Google group. Was I on mute or did I just unmute it at the end?
Erica, I'm gonna let you answer because I didn't set it up. I don't know what the name of it is, and I want to
I was just
wanna make
super
sure we get it
confused
right.
because the two of
No,
you
that's
would,
it's Erica's answer. Sorry.
right, would
I don't know.
email yourselves separately. So I just wanted
I
to-
see where the confusion is. Okay, yes. So when I didn't catch this before. So the Task Force 2025. It is not showing up. So the group is actually called Min 2025. I will do some more searching because it is not Min Task Force. I gotta figure out what I called it. And then I will put it in the chat.
We'll figure it out. It's all good. We'll figure this out. We truly will. Mark, I appreciate your contributions. Melissa, I appreciate your contributions. Y'all, we're all doing this for all the same reasons. And I absolutely have confidence in us to be able to work through this. I know we will. Okay. All right, let's move back to the agenda. So we took a look at a little bit of the survey. As that survey gets closed, and we get more responses, we'll be able to print off those results. I can't pull results out of there right now, because that will mean I have to close the survey.
Hey, Dad, can I address a question Amy Furman put in the chat?
Yep.
About the upcoming town hall. So Amy, my 2 cents on that is, the main focus, and I'm going back to something Todd alluded to earlier. I mean, yes, we can share some of the results from the survey, but really This is about answering any questions, concerns, sharing FAQs. So if you're getting in the current, I know we have the 2 surveys, but in the licensure survey, questions, concerns, this is an opportunity to say, okay, here are some of the questions we're receiving. Here are the answers. Yeah, what's in the bill? Answer questions exactly. So probably really make it focused more on sharing information and listening as it relates to the bill. Should be the main focus for the town hall. And a little brief update of, okay, because it's going to be scheduled in 2 weeks, you can even say this in an email, hey, things are moving more quickly than we anticipated. We're going to have our first town hall of the session in 2 weeks. It'll be recorded, et cetera.
Yep. Yep.
And I do think a lot of people will be coming to listen and won't necessarily have questions. So I want to be sure we have some things prepared so that we're not all necessarily just sitting there. And I also think it's really important for people to understand the time frame of this, because people come in, it's like, why, wait, we're talking 2026. So I think that needs to be an upfront explanation that's really clear so that people understand we are.
Yes, I'm piggybacking. That's a yes. Save me. Yeah, and so some of this is a little bit of what's the process, the 2-year process, the multiple committees. So just kind of a reminder of, you know, a little bit of 5th grade civics 101. Oh, you like that, Mark? Yeah.
I agree.
A lot, but enough
Shockingly,
of just that overview.
I've been hearing that they don't do civics in many of the schools anymore, which is terrifying. So there's that.
We should just trust the government to take care of it all, right?
Right.
Okay.
You're funny. Hey, Todd, you
Don't
mentioned
even
that
get me started.
I know, right? No, don't get me started either. Yeah, breathing. You mentioned that you wouldn't be able to pull responses from the survey. I was
Well,
just
what I'm,
without closing it, I was just able to copy some of the answers
yeah,
and
so
paste
what,
them into
yeah,
a spreadsheet, and I'd be happy to do that before the meeting. Just so
yeah,
you can start answering questions if that
I agree. I agree. A lot of the questions that I've been seeing are really related to what's in the bill. A lot of questions about, do I need to take another test? Do I, you know, what, I already have my board certification and what does this mean? And so there's a lot of questions that I think are easily answered. They're excellent questions, but they're easily answered by going through each section of the bill. We don't think we need to show the bill, but we can certainly summarize and say, here's the requirements that we're asking the states, and this is how it's similar to every other state across the US. And anyway, what I'm envisioning, y'all, is we develop a PowerPoint presentation. We have it nicely structured. We have various people from this task force here and those that are watching this video. Anyone that wants to take a slide, anyone that wants to take a few talking points, I think it's important for our colleagues to not hear from just one person, 2 people, 3 people, but to hear from many, many voices. And so I think if you're amenable to that, Eric and I can through the Min Task Force Gmail the email account, we can create a Google slide, share it out to everybody, and we'll start to put things on there. And then just be on the lookout for regular communication via email saying, hey, is there a topic you're interested in? Here's some questions that we've been pulling from the surveys. Or you know, is this an area of interest where you'd like to speak to it? And so I definitely would love to have as many voices as possible to show a diversified, unified voice coming from the task force. How's that sound? Sound okay?
Feel free, if you want to build in a national overview, we can cover that.
Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Todd and
Yes.
everybody, I feel like we need to sharpen some of our demographic and some of the background information that matches Minnesota as well.
Yeah.
So I've got some new stuff, and I would like to tell everyone, we may have the state of Minnesota beat us to the punch on asking for licensure if things start sliding a different way. So we need to be ready for that. There will be new answers coming for those people who want to differentiate the difference between board certification and licensure in Minnesota. And I'm trying to learn more specifics on that. But that target is 2027, but it's a for sure target. And it's really about if you're going to be a pre-approved provider in Minnesota, they may shift a lot of different things. But that needs a revision of a whole bunch of y'all. I said y'all too, Todd. A whole bunch of everybody. It must be because Kimberly's on as well. It must be because of everybody needs to review the information and concur. It can't just be a couple of people's ideas. So I'd like to also just try to capture some of that when I get a moment. Texan.
I know. Mark, would you, when you get a moment, just send me information about the whole board certification licensure thing you alluded to?
The difference, the
That's happening
emerg-
in the state. Would you just send that to me, please?
yeah, I will
Yeah.
do that.
Thanks.
Yep.
Mark, thank you for saying that. So on the agenda, what I've been doing is crafting. I'm back up in the first section. I've been crafting some slides, essentially, slide topics. And so we can put this into, like I said, Google Slides. We can refine this. We can have some information. Maybe we have some hyperlinks. You know, we can make this really nicely structured. But again, I would love to have as many of y'all that are here this evening, as well as listening to this recording, taking a slide or 2 or 3 or 10 or 20. Not saying we're gonna have 20 slides. Okay. Other thoughts, questions, ideas, anything either related to the survey, like 45,000 foot that we just quickly took a look at, and or our town hall? Melissa, sorry, it looked like you unmuted.
Ooh,
Oh,
an accident. I had just double checked on the Google group things, and all of the other Google groups I'm in say Google group at the end, but it looks like Erica just sent me an invitation to the Google group. So yay, hopefully problem resolved.
Yeah, it wasn't accepting your living spirits one, so I sent it to your Gmail. Sorry. If there's an error that popped up, and for some reason it wasn't, so I just sent it to your Gmail account. I don't know
We'll
why.
talk. We don't need to mess with anybody else's time on that one. We'll talk.
but we're gonna get it. We got this. Everybody loves Google. Come on, it's so easy to use. That's being facetious to say the least. Okay. All right, then really the last thing on our agenda for this evening oh wait, let's go back. Sorry. We're gonna go over 7:30. I'm sorry, y'all. Really quick. PR, continued PR and marketing of our survey. If everybody here is cool with it, I'm gonna tell Qualtrics to send a reminder out to those who have not participated. So Amy, hopefully you won't get it a third time. But if you do, user error right here. But hopefully it'll just, I'm pretty sure that the option's there. Who has not participated in Qualtrics keeps that anonymous. So I don't know who's participated. So I'll send that out on Thursday, which is a week after our initial, and I'll just keep sending it out once a week. I don't want to inundate people, but we've had a good response so far. 98 is a good response. So hopefully we'll keep on getting a good response rate. So we get both really good, important questions that we can address and answer, as well as good information on where people lie on support for licensure. Okay, cool. Then Erica, do you want to take a couple minutes and talk about this Minnesota Task Force guidebook that you've been working really hard on? You're on mute.
If you want, I just people can look at it on their own. The link is in the agenda. Do I still have it up? Because I can put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. And we kind of had a version of this years ago. I don't want to say it's too far ago, but it was years ago. It was inspired by a sheet that I saw from the Dropbox on a brief description. I don't know if CBMT or AMTA made it. I don't know who made the initial one, but it was great. So it inspired me to actually create a bit of a guidebook for individuals that are wanting to be a part of the task force currently and also in the future. This is a working document. This is bare bones. It's something where I kind of wanted to outline different things that we have done in the past and also what we're currently doing, and mapped it out into obtainable roles, kind of. There's room for improvement, and made it a little bit pretty. So just so that way we can kind of all be on the same page, and then while we're recruiting, it's an easy copy and paste for individuals that are wanting to be interested in said roles, and just to kind of know what kind of capacity that they could potentially provide. So please feel free, take a look at this if you have the capacity to do so and have time to do so, and add some feedback. You can probably make some comments on it. I think the status right now is viewer only, but I can change that most definitely, and then you can add some notes in the margin. But yeah, take a look at it, tell me what you think, and if it's something that we want to pursue, we can pursue and move forward with it, and then kind of work with it throughout the rest of the year, and know that it's a working document. So I'm hoping that it will constantly change as the task force changes, and to help support the future. That's all. I don't know if I gave you enough time, Todd.
Oh, well, Erica, take as much time as you want. This is a incredible document that really organizes a lot of what I think has been in your mind, my mind, many others' minds, as far as what is this work that we do, and how can we, what are the roles, what are the opportunities, and where are the holes that we might be missing, or need further definition, anyway, it's a great document. And like you said, it's a living, working document, that everybody here, we want to hear from everybody. It's not just your document or my document, it's the task force's collective document.
I specifically want help with the core values, is where I kind of want most of the focus to happen, because it's a lot. And I did what I could based on conversations and past information that I saw in the archives, and then also inspired, as you can see, by the AMTA GLR region music therapy core values. So I try to incorporate some of those, but this is like literally me just guessing. So I do not speak for all. Please take a look at these and add, subtract, make comments of what you guys think. And then hopefully this can be a nice marketing thing as well. So that way when we're doing town halls, we can start with our mission, we can put the vision out, we can start with our core values and say, hey, this is what we're doing as a collective, this is what our guidelines are, and then hopefully have some pretty awesome conversations from that.
I love
There's
it.
so much happening in the chat. Oh my goodness.
Love it. I love it. We're gonna talk about Amy's. Oh, Maggie, we'll see you soon. Thanks for being here. I'm biased.
This is Christina. Real quick, sorry. I've been in and out because of sports stuff. I just want to make sure it's mentioned so we can maybe collaborate. I'm not sure if you guys are aware that the child life profession is also trying for licensure, which is new for them in the state of Minnesota. So just FYI, and maybe we can share, learn, or collaborate in some way, because I definitely think there is some overlap.
Christina, I appreciate you saying that. We can look into their bill and see who. I don't have a contact with the Child and Family Life folks anymore.
I can get you. I will send it all over to you guys.
That's awesome. I'm sure that we could, or I mean, even better, the Music Therapy Association of Minnesota could write a letter of support for them, and perhaps they could write a letter of support for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would speak really strongly. And we all collaborate so much between the work you're doing down where you are, as well as Children's Minnesota and Gillette and so many other areas where we all collaborate. So that's awesome. I appreciate you letting us know. All right, and then Amy also put in there some information about the art therapists as well. And that's a nice, pretty artsy fact sheet that they have. That's cool.
I just want it, when we're looking at ways to do fact sheets, it's more of an infographic.
Yeah, no, that's really smart. And maybe we have different types of fact sheets. One that maybe is more visually representative, and then one that is more maybe bullet pointy. I don't know. I'm just like everybody here. I'm just a task force member who really wants this to happen for those that I get to work with and serve, and whatever we can do together is going to be awesome. So cool, very cool. Did y'all hear about was it on Care 11 or CBS the other night that was talking about the trouble some massage therapists had gotten into, and something about licensure, and they weren't licensed, but they said they were licensed. And so that was going on in Minnesota. I'm not talking about whatever was happening with some Buffalo Bills player, but here in Minnesota, there was something going on with a company. I don't know. Anyway, maybe it was Care 11 that ran it just the other day. And there was some concern about the level of regulation and licensure that was being placed on them, and they were getting into some trouble about it.
So I would chime in with that on two fronts. One, some people who are licensed estheticians are also doing massage, and we're commingling the designation. It's more than that, first. Second, the Art Therapy Association in Minnesota, or the Art Therapy Group, I don't know if they're doing well. I will give more details for email from what I've learned. And then the third one is that I recently learned Christina brought the interest in Child Family Life. I've worked with them for years, and you know that I worship the ground that they walk on in this hospital systems. However, they as a training are not an allied health profession. However, a lot of them are allied health professionals. And I've recently learned that there is not support with some hospital systems on that particular pursuit. Of course not. There's other issues with that. Just so you know, I can get some more background. I personally am supportive of whatever gets the job done for the people who need it. So titling or whatever, there's a balancing effect for that. I'm glad that Christina brought that forward. There will be a hearing coming up either Thursday or Monday in the Health and Human Services Committee that I'm trying to find out in the agenda. And that's why I sent you that, wrote it right up today. I'm going to try and learn more about when it is. And the relevance here is that I've been asked to perhaps talk about the type of education that the state of Minnesota did for services like ILS services for music therapists. And so they might have me come in and ask me questions, or however that is. I got a notification, and then I have to update my work about that as well. Is the only scope is what level of the state of Minnesota education did you find that was functional? Did you find any areas that weren't functional? And my concern there to represent would be you have to work to know it. It's messy, but it's relevant to the renew fraud thing that's going on. So it's related to a fraud thing, just to let you know. And I'm going to email everybody details on that. And lastly, Kimberly, yes, I'll send you a compare and contrast, okay? All right, that'll probably be, knowing me, it'll be Tuesday evening around 11 this time here.
I probably won't read it then, but that's just fine.
Yeah, no, please take your time, have a cup of tea, try not to yell, it'll be good.
Thanks.
All right, everybody. Mark, thank you. I don't know how you stay up on all this, and you are just a wonderful resource. And to everybody else, Melissa, thank you so much for all the questions and the contributions tonight. Christina, thank you for bringing up CFL, our colleagues in Child and Family Life, and just everybody. Thank you so much for everything. I think that about wraps our meeting, unless there's anything else that folks wanted to bring up or ask. Otherwise, look for emails that'll have both a ton of information about best next steps, especially surrounding preparing for the town hall, and then I forget what else, the fact sheets and everything else that we talked about. I need to eat dinner. Anything else, my friends? Thank you, Christina.
Thank you. Stay
Thank-
warm.
Yeah, you too. It's I was
care.
looking at my phone.
Yeah.
It's minus
Kimberly,
9.
I am
Real
not gonna
temperature.
tell you what it is here.
I
I kind
know
of want
it
a
is.
vicarious sense of warmth.
I
Noted.
mean,
You're
it was chilly
60
this morning at 65 degrees, so.
Yeah, okay,
Oh,
we're done.
I
oh.
better watch out.
All right, I'm gonna stop the recording, but y'all, thank you so much for being here. Anyone that wants to hang out for
Bye.
the after party or anything like that, just let me know. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Hmm.